you sure? Okay. Yes, I'm ready. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. I don't even know how to love you. Just
You ready?
you want me to. But I'm ready.
Ready?
To
Learn.
Yes, I'm
Ready? Learn. Love. Let us all remember. You ready? This song was on my head when I woke up this morning. Are you guys ready? Cindy, Jason, Mary, Richard, you guys ready? Karen, you ready for love? Mary, ready for love? Ready? Learn. Ready? Learn. Matt's ready. Teddy, do you claim it? Are you ready? You seem excited. Are you ready? Bree, Daniel, you guys ready? You guys ready? 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 Beautiful song, originally by Barbara Mason. I don't know if she's a distant kin member. Maybe it was me in a past life. Who really fucking knows? Truth is, we really don't know, but we're ready to learn, aren't we? I think we are. And I woke up, this song is on my head for a reason. The message came to me beautifully. Really beautifully in my own mind. It always happens like that. It's so profound to me. But then I'm like, okay, now I got to share this and make it make sense, right? So, without further ado, we're ready, right? We're ready to fall into love. And love is where we are home. Love is the end game for human souls, is returning to the I am that we all are. See? That's where they've hijacked it, right? If you know anything really about anything at this point, it should be that you are a beautiful part of source energy. You are the I am in the flesh. You are a co-creator in this reality. If you don't know that by now, I don't know, maybe there's new people that are watching this that haven't seen this me before and talk about what I talk about. But there's a couple things I want to get into, right? Now, the proverb regarding you reap what you sow, a lot of people are just like caught in a religious program with this, but obviously I'm not going to cater to those people because I want to talk to the people who've been around and understand the depth of the communication that I'm trying to portray. So the reaping what we sow is the cause and effect hermetic principle. So we know that the cabal of evil, okay, has occulted the knowledge of the realm and hid it from us. That is something that we've came to understand, is that they've fed us programs and fake belief systems to suppress our I amness and suck us as to harvest our energy to power this realm for them so that they can stay on the top of the pyramid. Okay? And all of us are just another brick in the wall as the true power here, right? They've harvested our energy by controlling our consciousness, because everything is mind. And this again is a hermetic teaching. The universe is mind. All is mental. Okay. You and I are just mind, right? And what animates your body is your mind. You know, I pick this up. I say, oh, I want to take a hit of my vape. How did I do that? My mind communicated to my body to do it. And so we are the body of God or source here in the realm, manifest in flesh. So the consciousness that we are all synced up to is the consciousness of everything that is. And this is the message of every ancient master, the law of one. Jesus even tried to teach people this and they killed him for it. Imagine that. But we're at a different time now and there's many more people here, and the wise master even said, we are going to do greater things than he did. And we are. So are you guys ready to get into this understanding of reaping what we sow? I did a live the other day and I felt a little vulnerable doing it because when I talk about things, I feel like I'm always under attack because we're all coming in at different vibrations and everything is a vibe. It's all frequency. And so we are all checking in at different vibes. Okay. Some people on the lower vibes completely came for me last week. And so I'm trying to learn and grow through all of this. And I'm thinking, okay, well, they're coming at you from a place of, or a vibration of paranoia or fear or whatever. Roll away, roll away. They're coming at you from a place of whatever is not your problem. Roll away, roll away, roll away. So to keep my vibration right so that I can attract, I have to become the vibration of what I want to attract. And if you get readings from me and stuff, you know that I'm always saying, well, you have to change your mindset in order to attract what you want. It's like somebody who wants love. A lot of people who get readings from me, they want to know about love. Well, the only advice that I could give somebody who's wanting love is to become love. And love themselves first, because like attracts like, right? And so I'm always giving this advice, but it didn't register to me that looking into everything that we have been looking into I got an itch. I might be kissing a fool later, guys. You know what they say. Your nose is itchy. Just kidding. I kissed enough fools in my day. But, sorry, getting off track. But knowing that like attracts like, right? And the vibe attracts your tribe. We could have potentially been assisting the darkness unknowingly, reaping what they want us to sow. Following? So in the last live I did, I touched briefly on the experience I had and where I'm like, am I helping or what are we doing here? So always going into thought and reflection, considering, that we have minds to critically think with and to dissect information. And what we do with that information is we take it into our internal processor and we run it through our system. And we say, okay, what am I feeling on this? How could this possibly be something I need to look at deeper? And this is coming from you actualizing into your I amness. People who aren't self-aware are just the bricks in the wall right now that are just powering the evil machine. And this is why our reality is like this. Well, those of us who are aware could potentially be reaping using the law of opposites. It's like the law of attraction, right? But basically, it's like when people, I'll use getting a reading again. They want to know, like, what's in the cards? Are they going to have a baby? This, that. They get all worried about it, and they're so focused on it. And I'm like, you just need to change your focus. Because the more we focus on something, the farther away, okay, it is in the vibration. If that makes sense. So if someone's sitting there and they're, oh, I want to have a baby, 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 baby, can't get pregnant, baby. I'm like, stop worrying about that and just enjoy your life. Enjoy your moments right now. Relax. Because there's a law of opposites at play. It's kind of like a polarity, right? Or a duality principle. It's like when you are so focused on not having something, we don't have it. But then people will message me back and they'll be like, oh my God, I stopped trying to get pregnant and now I'm pregnant. I'm like, yeah, kind of cool how when your body releases the tension and anxiety and stress and that low vibration around something, then it is attracted to you, right? So you become the magnet to it. Now, if we, okay, understanding we reap what we sow, which by definition is you eventually have to face a consequence for the action. Okay, that's what basically that would boil down to. If we're talking about it from the Proverbs or the scripture aspect, it's like you're going to have to pay for what you do. And that's the same principle, is you put out and what you get back. So if you put out, like abundance, right? When people are giving, they usually are blessed. If somebody has the spirit of giving, right, then usually those people are blessed, and people are like, well, why is that person blessed? It's like, because that person gives a lot, therefore they receive a lot. Do you understand? Everything is an energetic exchange. So if you're looking at it from a monetary point, it's like you're giving monetarily to something, but you may not receive back in that same way. You may receive back in a monetary way where somebody gifts you a car, right? And says, oh, here's the title to a car. Oh, what? Yeah, it's yours. You can have it. But you're receiving the gift because you had the spirit of giving. And sometimes it's not going to come back, in the numerical amount that you gave out. Sometimes it actually does, which is kind of a trip. But it comes back to you in that same energy. What we give, we receive. Following? So, us people who are awake, seeking the truth, I want us to evaluate what we have really been sowing during our journey out here trying to wake people. And I am guilty of this. This is why I'm having the conversation. What have we really been putting out there while we have been bringing the attention to the cabal's plan? And I'm not saying that attention didn't need to trigger people into awakening, because there's levels to consciousness. Actually, Catherine in the subscriber lounge just posted something really cool, basically explaining the awakening process, right? When you realize that there's something wrong, it usually starts from that place of consciousness, but it has to continue to develop out of that. A lot of people I see are getting stuck in it, right? They're not evolving through this area where the awakening is happening. You're starting to realize that the governments and the institutions of the world are actually evil, that they're not really good. You're starting to see the stripes, right? And it's like, okay, now they're stuck there, and that's just the preliminary level to an awakening. We can't stay stuck there. Vibrationally, it's not productive for your overall end goal, which is to be enlightened. You can't stay stuck in a dark night of the soul. You have to continue to push towards the light and the higher understanding of, okay, this is happening. Cool. See that. Withdrawing my energy from that. Okay, this is happening. Really bad. Don't want to give my energy to this system. They're evil. Pull your energy back to you. So it's gathering and grabbing our pieces so that we can be made whole again. So right now, I feel as if many people, puff, clink to my clinkers. here we are. And I've talked about this. Us being battery powered. Us being the batteries. So if you're new here, I don't know, go back and figure it out. But so we're all here. Everybody. And then we have all of the dumb, non-conscious minds just mindlessly plugged in. And notice that their little lines are smaller than ours, right? That's because they haven't self-actualized into their I am power. So they don't really know that they co-create the whole reality, that we're all running this game concurrently, right? They don't understand that they're just, they're background people. And they're being siphoned by their life force energy unknowingly. They just think their life is getting up and driving in traffic and going to work and fucking paying their bills and obeying the government and, trying to find happiness in the little 4 hours of their 24 that actually belong to them without feeling like extremely exhausted pile of shit. But that's life, says the program. Right? So they have no idea. They're just living the program, loving the program, trying to find their happiness in the program and believing that maybe someday if they just obey and do their best, that someday there's a magical daddy in the sky that's going to say, you know what, you were good while you were alive down there, and I'm going to let you now enjoy life after your life. And they hold on to that belief system, and that's what keeps them going, is that somehow, someday, they're going to be free. And all of the suffering that they endured while they were here is going to be fixed because Sky Daddy is going to grant them access to the house with many mansions. And they just do it. They don't realize that they are having this experience, and this is the fun. This is where they're supposed to be experiencing the experiences of the fun, magical place. This is the magical place. And they're a huge part of the magical place, but they don't know it. Why? Is it playing? You guys, I'm going to tell you, they've been fucking with my Wi-Fi pretty hard. Pretty hard indeed. So I apologize for any disturbances, but this is what they do. Anyway, not giving them my mind. So the little batteries are down here, and you notice that they're a shorter energy source, right? All of us who are higher, who are more powerful, because we've self-actualized in our vibration, we're all here, right? And then these fuckers that sit up here with all of the knowledge are like, oh no, look at these guys. They're like on our heels. They're coming for us, right? Because we are aware. We know the game that they're trying to play on us, and we have been trying to wake these babies down here and get them to say, oh, I'm actually powerful, boom, and rise in their own power, right? So we've been trying to water and plant seeds for these guys down here, and somehow it's worked, right? Some people have self-actualized, and they're on the journey now up into true knowledge, but some people have not. Some people are aware now, okay? But instead of us focusing on what we want to be, we keep focusing on what is. And there's the law of opposites. Right there. And that is what fuels the law of attraction. Reaping what we sow, I would say so. So all of us who now have underwent the I'm Awake from the Matrix program, we realize what we are, that we are not just these sheep people. We realize that we're not the Sims. And we have power, right? But what are we giving our power to is the true thing. Because we, okay, are continuously focusing on what they are doing. Hence, okay, we are watering their seeds. Are you following me? So if they're planting seeds for world domination, okay, and the one thing that everybody knows is what they want, these people, yeah, they're powering it, but us feeding it by saying, oh, this is what they're doing, 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 this is what they're doing. Look at where all the power of us, high-powered, high vibrational beings, we're spitting our high vibrational magic on their seed, guys. We're growing it. And then these people, they don't know one way or another. They're asleep still. So are we really helping them wake up? Probably so. But then what happens is they, once awakened to the truth, are caught in that ego trap of now we have to tell everybody. And us having to tell everybody is what? Drawing more attention to this. Putting more of our energy at it. Where your attention grows, your energy flows, and that is what grows. In the law of opposites. In the law of attraction, you just act as if the wish is fulfilled. If I want to attract something to me, I just act like it's already there. I want love? Fuck, I am love. What do you mean? I'm not without anything. I already am that. I have all the love that I need because I am the love. Right? I want a baby? Okay, no, not tripping. It's going to come. I'm already going to start looking at baby on the fact that I don't have the baby because then that would be the law of opposites. I'm going to focus on, okay, I'm going to forget about having the baby and I'm just going to look at baby clothes online once in a while, maybe pin them to a Pinterest board and sorry, like I said, getting the imagination going, and then pretty soon I'll probably be pregnant unless I take a poisonous concocted serum that would literally make me infertile. But then that would be a whole nother topic, right? But the whole point is the law of opposites is when you're feeding something that you don't want. It's kind of like saying can't. Or I won't. The universe doesn't pick up on those cues. It's like the source doesn't pick up on those cues. It just takes the order. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be poor. 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 Oh my gosh, I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be poor. But you're poor. Why are you poor? Because you're focusing so much on poor. And that's something that you don't want. But the universe doesn't understand, don't. It's picking up your vibration, okay? And it's manifesting the desire, which is poverty. Whether you want it or don't want it, it's going to call it to you. When you wake up and you're like, I'm abundant. I don't want for anything. I have everything that I need. What does the universe do? Picks up on the fact that you're abundant. You're putting out that abundant vibration. You're not putting out fear. You're not putting out worry. You're not putting out anxious anxiety. You're putting out trust, faith. You're sowing seeds of abundance by becoming an abundant vibration that's saying, I'm not in fear. I'm not in worry. I'm not casting doubt. I'm confident that all my needs are going to be taken care of. And with that act, you attract that. So do you understand why we, perhaps, because not many people are understanding it on the level that they need to understand it, we're continuously stuck here in the rut now. Where, oh my gosh, the one world system is coming and they're going to do this and they're going to do that and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. And every single day, people have become addicted to trying to figure it out. And perhaps it's not for us to figure out. Perhaps it's for us to acknowledge, oh shit, that's what's happening. I see. No, condemn in our soul, which is condemnation, is withdrawing your life force energy from it. It's like, go and sin no more, as Jesus would say. People could be like, oh my gosh, I constantly steal. I constantly thief. I constantly do this. Christ, help me. Jesus, help me. It's like, okay, well, stop doing that. Stop giving your energy to doing that. And it's that simple. Same thing. Oh my gosh, they're doing all of this. Oh my gosh, they're doing all of this. Oh my gosh, everybody look. Oh my gosh, look it. Let's figure it all out. Well, in doing that, we're continuously stuck in the rut of the karmic lesson that humanity always fails. The importance of this time, being mindful of where we're sowing our seeds, is because it happens in every reset, in every epoch. Humanity, the minds, us, we never break out of this trap of giving our energy. We may know the truth. Moses knew the truth. He couldn't lead the people to the promised land. Why? Because he was stuck on a karmic cycle, going around the mountain for 40 years. Somebody else had to come in and offer them deliverance out because he wouldn't pass the test. He couldn't get the test. So he just kept going around and around, feeding them the same information, the same manna, the same knowledge. This is the way out. We have to know better so we can do better. The way out is not that we are here to get caught in the trap. This is a web that the enemy has snared us all in. And I'm not saying that we have bad intentions. We don't have bad intentions. We are loving beings. We are sharing the information because we love and we want other people to know the truth, right? But the truth is, you can't make anybody know the truth. They have to find the truth for themselves, just like you did. Seek and you will find. Anybody who wants to know will know. And that's free will. Because everybody is connected. Everybody is getting the same divine inspiration to look deeper into things for themselves. Just like going through a spiritual awakening is not a group effort. You, me, and everybody else can't go through an awakening together. The rebellion, the inner work starts inside an individual, on an individual level. It doesn't come as a group of people going through this huge awakening. It starts individually. The answer to everything is individual, micro, macro, as within, so without. So individually, as you understand more about you, the truth about you, figuring it out for you, you gain more power, right? But you can't control them. And that's the ego in us, right? That has to be purged, or else we fall into the same cycle. We've gotten here before. We're always so close. But the importance of now is that they are trying to hijack the turning, the earth cycling, the energetic shift that is already here. It's just like each season, okay, in nature. You and I are nature. We go through seasons. Women go through cycles every month. That is the cycle of life, right? And so when you think about just a woman menstruating, that is the cycle of life. The shedding, and then the regenerating, and then the new birth, and all of that. There are cycles that you and I, as pieces of nature, which is all we are elements. From the dust we came, to the dust we shall return. But we are animated with the spirit for the time being. So we go through different cycles in our bodies. Nature goes through different cycles in the seasons. the mother, our home, goes through different cycles on a bigger scale every so many years. There's cycles 80 years, 200 years, 2,000 years, all different times, and they know the cycles. They've been going through cycles and have documentation from cycles that they've stolen from ancient civilizations and occulted, hidden from us so that they can hijack us to keep their game going. So we all know we're going into another cycle. The ancient civilizations knew it. You know, when they burned the Library of Alexandria, they didn't just burn the knowledge. No, they took it. They stole it for themselves, and it's been kept secret within a very small few, and only the few initiates that get into this secret minority that run this domain get to know the true knowledge. But here's the kicker. We have access to it all from the Akashic records, which is the ether of energy that is all around us. Activating into your full power is going to unlock that for you. Sorry, everything's upside down in its reality, but not us. Activating into your full power is going to unlock that peace for you. And if you're on the awakening process, you're very close. But what might be stopping you from really elevating into a real super powerful being that you can have all this knowledge just downloaded into you from the fucking air, man, is that you're caught in a web under one of their veils. Because these tricky little serpents, see, they've snared us all. They've snared us. And now they're even trying to annihilate our ability to connect with Source. Because our DNA is our antenna to it. So they're actually coming up with a really ingenious way to disconnect your consciousness from the all, the mind that is, and just use you as some kind of lobotomized drone robot thing that will never become fully conscious past a certain point. So do you understand why this cycle, why this is like the most epic time for all humanity? And do you understand why it's really something that we here should consider? And I'm not saying you have to see it my way. I'm here presenting the information that has been kind of coming to me, 1144, there's the 144, that has been coming to me that I've been reflecting on. Because I don't want to condone evil, and I don't want to see evil manifest during this next season, knowing that we reap what we sow. So for me, it's winter solstice time. So I'm going to focus my intentions on what I'm wanting to see brought into my own life for the next year. And people are going to say, that's witchy. That's not witchy. That's human. That's human. That's what we should all be doing, see? But there's a program inside you somewhere that says, oh, we don't do that. That's witchcraft. We don't do that. It's not. It's called being human. All of us were born pagan. We weren't born under some kind of belief system. All of that was given to you. That's a program, okay? That the battery. So if they make these programs and they just set them up everywhere, like, okay, here's your religious program. Okay, here's your New Age program. Okay, here's your government program. And then everybody just keeps feeding these programs and getting stuck in these programs. But the people that are controlling these programs can still harvest the energy out of the programs. Then it's a win-win. Just like this. Yeah, this is what they're doing. But look at what we're doing. We're giving our energy as the more powerful co-creators of this whole domain. And we're giving our life force to them all the time. And why are we doing it? Because we in our ego are telling us, oh, we have to wake them up. It's our job. We have to wake them. But the truth is that they have free will, and maybe they're just not supposed to wake up, or they're not going to wake up. But we have to be mindful of manifesting what they want, because it is a trap. They're getting us to spit on the manifestation, because we're manifesting for the next season. Are you catching me? So we're planting seasons now, humanity, for after the cycle, into the aggregate, into the energy field. So we're manifesting for the future. But what are we manifesting? We're planting their seeds for the future. We don't want them to have a social credit score. Don't want. Remember, those words don't. The energy field doesn't pick up on it. All it feels is our desire. All it feels is that intention of the main thing. Social credit score. So we can say, don't want all day, but all the aggregate is picking up on is social credit score, 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 social credit score. Are you getting what I'm saying? Is it making sense? I hope it is. Beautifully makes sense in my own mind. But again, it's about sharing it. So there's a scripture. Exactly, Brie. And it's in, I think, Galatians, talking about the reaping what you sow. It's not the Proverbs portion of it, but it's like in Galatians, and it's talking about sowing seeds to please the Spirit, not the flesh. So, marinate on that. We're in a very... Okay. No, Kathy, they're not awake. They're mindlessly giving their power to the agenda. Mindlessly. So they don't know that they're being harvested. They don't know that they're programmed. They don't know that they are the I am power of all creation in the flesh. They do not know. All that they do is mindlessly carry about their life and are siphoned by the overlords as batteries to power their desired manifestation using the law of opposites, which is like the law of attraction. The same thing is like with the revelation of the method. They show us what they're doing. It goes into the subconscious mind, and it's a seed planted. We consent to it. We continue to go along with it without condemning it, without withdrawing our attention from it, without creating something different for it. And therefore, when it comes to be, we're like, oh my gosh, this used to be sci-fi shit. Now it's coming to be like RoboCop. Watching RoboCop as a kid in the 90s, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so far-fetched. But think about every person that watched RoboCop and thought that. Well, now we're in RoboCop, literally, where robots have been given orders that it's okay for them to shoot you and take your life, and you're okay with that. So you see how this all plays? It's all mind. Okay? So, anyway, back to the Galatians portion. When this piece in Galatians, it was talking about sowing seeds. It was talking about sowing seeds to please the Spirit and not the flesh. What are we doing? And this is not I'm not coming hard for you. Like I said, I take accountability for my part in perhaps feeding energy to the system unknowingly. Right? I'm going to humbly say that because that's what people who can identify with themselves and be humble do. The meek will inherit the earth. And I'm going to show meekness by humbly asking, forgiveness that I may have led people astray, but I didn't know I was doing it. But when you know better, you do better. Right? So, sowing seeds of the flesh, okay, might be that those of us here who were powering the narrative of this by trying to put all the information out there. Now, this is maybe going to be triggering to some people, because some people are going to say, oh my God, I am sharing info to help people. I am helping people wake up. I am doing this. And I've been in that same mindset as you, so I am not judging you if that's where you're sitting. I sat in that same perspective. And that's why I justified it. I justified it until somebody had to like literally walk up to me and tap me on the shoulder and be like, hey bitch, are you really? But listen though, stop ignoring your intuition, but listen, are you really? And I'm like, okay. So now I had to go within and do a moral inventory of myself. And then I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm not because of this. Because we have the best of intentions, right? But it doesn't matter. Like the universe, like the good and evil part of the energy, I've already went through in other videos. It just is. It favors intelligence, not morality, because it's mind, it's consciousness. It doesn't care about morality. If it was caring about morality, then humanity wouldn't even be here right now, dude, with the theys and the thems and the fucking shit show and the lustful creatures, and nobody has sacred love and nobody wants love. They all just want to get their dick wet, or they all just want to get their, snatched, sucked on, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. They have no real interest in raising decent children. Nobody cares about that. They don't care about their kids and bringing them up in a decent way. It's just, I'm going to have these kids to have these kids. And then here's a screen. Learn from the people on the screen. Leave me alone so I can watch TikTok for 6 hours. You know what I mean? So if the universe was favoring morality, we wouldn't exist right now because we are completely immoral as a society. And I've often thought about this, right? Because I sit here and I'm a single mom, and I get hit up by guys all the time. All the fucking time. Talking about sexy stuff. The things that they would do to me. Oh my God, your body. Oh my God, blah. Oh my God. Do you have an OnlyFans? Blah, 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 this and the last. And I'm thinking, well, damn, man, should I have an OnlyFans? Because if I had an OnlyFans, maybe I wouldn't be struggling all the time. If I had an OnlyFans, I would get people to subscribe to my flesh. I could sit there and trust me when I tell you, I could probably take some really super hot, sexy pictures on OnlyFans and make thousands and thousands of dollars off of them. I could. But the difference is I want to feed the spirit. I want my soul to be fed, right? I want somebody to see me deeper than the flesh. I can have men lusting for me. I could have men up in my bed every night, a different one, if I so desired it. It ain't hard to get somebody to act in their flesh. It is not hard to have somebody act in a lower vibration of lust. That's easy. I could go to the store right now, be back in 15 minutes, and have some stranger here spread out ready to fuck me. Wouldn't be a challenge. Would not be a challenge. The challenge is getting people to subscribe to my message of the spirit or of love. And I know that this isn't to the subscribers, because I literally do have subscribers here, and you guys are awesome. So thank you so much for subscribing to me with my clothes on. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, the point is, this realm, okay, is subscribed to sowing seeds of the flesh. That's easy. But what are we supposed to be sowing seeds? And are we actually sowing seeds of the Spirit when all we're doing is getting caught in giving our energy day in and day out to what they are doing? We know what the fuck they're doing. Our ego is telling us that it's our job, okay, to wake these fuckers who are sowing seeds of the flesh. That's us telling us, each other, that somehow we're doing something noble, that somehow we're helping to save them. But the truth is, them, perhaps don't want to be saved. Perhaps that is their end game, is right there, sowing seeds of their flesh. They reap what they sow. Why are we making that about us? Our ego, right? Our ego tells us that we're doing what's right by trying to save everybody. But in these last cycles, how did everything play out? Talk about Noah's Ark. Just the story of Noah's Ark. I want to puff, guys. So bear with me for 1 second while I have a sip. Clink to my clinkers. Puff to my puffers. So Noah's Ark, basically, think about the character Noah. He was instructed by the Spirit, by God, to do something, right? And that was prepare. Prepare for the inevitable, which is what we should be doing. The inevitable is that there is a great darkness coming in. There is an epoch upon us. A turning of humanity as we know it via Mother and her cycle, her earth cycle. Just like women, we have feminine cycles. Mother Earth has cycles as well. And she's about ready to shed the lining of her uterus so that something new can be birthed in this next cycle, right? The inevitable is that. Just like Noah was preparing for the inevitable, which was the flood. He knew it was coming. He was preparing for it. Yes, he did at times attempt to tell people who were asking, what are you doing? I'm preparing. What are you preparing for? The flood. This guy's preparing for the flood. Okay. Did he waver? Or did he continue to sow seeds of the Spirit and continue to stay on his mission, which was preparing for the flood, which is our mission, is preparing for the new earth. We're going to go through a cycle. Okay? And I want you to remember, they know the cycle is here. They are trying to hijack the cycle so they can take control after the mother sheds her lining, and they can build it how they have it now, except that they don't want you conscious of anything. They want you disconnected so that you are easily to control, so that they don't ever have to worry about this again. That they will have eternal control over you. And this is where you giving up your eternal life is basically you allowing them to eternally alter your code, which is what you are your energetic signature is from divine. So that when my own intuition is when people perish in their reality after they have been altered, their energy force goes into the tech grid somehow, because this is an antichrist energy that we're all serving here right now. And this is why Mama's going to make it all go better. Mama's pissed. The cycle's coming. It's out of balance, which is another law, natural law, is to maintain balance. We're not in balance. But they think that they have it figured out how we're going to be able to have all of this artificial bullshit, these frequencies and this stuff, and maintain balance. They have it figured out that they don't need you anymore. You are the reason why it's out of balance in their distorted mind. It's because we're here. We're causing it out of balance. So they have the technology now to do all of the stuff that you would be doing without you. And they're happy about that. And they don't care about you. Okay? So let's take it back to Noah. Noah knew that the inevitable was coming. Noah tried to tell people who asked him, who inquired, right? Which is the whole seeking principle here. Because he didn't have any success telling people, the flood is coming, the flood is coming, the flood is coming, the flood is coming. Nobody listened. They just laughed and mocked and scoffed. You feel that? Serious question. I'm asking all of you people who are awake to what's happening. Do you feel that? Trying to tell people what's happening? How are you greeted? Are you greeted with, I better, shit, let me prepare. Oh my gosh, yeah, let me get on the boat with you. No, we're greeted by, oh my God, you crazy extremist, you extremist, you're a stupid ass. Oh my God, you need to get a psych ward. Oh my God, we're brain dead. People are calling us crazy, but that's okay. Because it isn't our job to wake them. It wasn't Noah's job. His job was to sow seeds of the Spirit for what was inevitably going to happen. Which is, the flood was coming. Just like the days of darkness are coming for us. Okay? So is it our job really to continue to help them? Because remember, we're planting seeds for the next cycle. Where our energy and our mind goes now is where the power is going to be birthed after Mama cycles. And I know that's a hard vision for you guys to comprehend. Perhaps some of you might be getting it easier than others. We plant seeds now for the future. Just like a pregnancy. Daddy comes and shoots up inside of me. Mama's seed says, okay, this sperm is the strongest, and she lets that sperm access the portal, and then boom. There's an incubation period where everything has to grow, but then eventually something is birthed, a whole new creation that wasn't there before. So we are in the cycle, okay, where we are sowing the seeds of intention for the future. Where are we putting our mind? Because we're the only conscious minds here. We are outnumbered here. See, these people are mindlessly going along, going to create this regardless. But remember, we are more powerful. We have a higher vibration. Therefore, we are actualized creators here. We are not hum-hawing around with very little vibration to work with. We actually have the highest vibration, which is the true manifestation power. These people are just manifesting things. They don't even know that they're manifesting things, and their manifestation power is so little because they're stuck in the 3D. They're stuck in a low vibe. They have really no true power. We have the power. So are we giving all of our power to helping them plant the seed without us spitting on it for them? Would it really be able to grow? What if we, the true conscious beings of the realm, right now in this moment, as we prepare to sow the seeds for the next harvest, for the next cycle, as we approach the time of to sow, are we sowing what we want to reap, or are we going to continue the cycle? Because we never choose to sow love, ever. We always go out with some fucking bullshit, warring, destructive, crazy, low-level shit. We never choose the path of love. We never choose the righteous path of sowing for the spirit. We always sow for the ego. We always sow to benefit ourselves. These people, they're sowing in the ego. They want to benefit themselves. They're doing it again. They're doing it wrong again. The last cycle, what did they do? They sowed for themselves. And then we get recycled, and then it's always the same thing. We always erect the same thing. Sowing for self, sowing for self, sowing for self, sowing for ego, sowing for the kingdoms, for the masters. We never sow for love's sake. What is love? Love is the new earth vision. Love is the vision where we don't have to be dominated by these power structures, where everybody is accountable, where everybody is in a high enough vibration, because we've cycled through successfully, because we elevate the vibration of the plane and we elevate into the next cycle in a whole new vibration. And I know people are going to fall off at this point and not understand what I'm talking about. Some of you guys are understanding this. We are being called to raise the vibration of the whole consciousness, not to continue to squalor it here. So I'm asking you guys here, are we really, and this is seriously, ask yourself, are we planting the seeds here now? What you're giving your, okay? Question. What did you give your morning to today? What seeds did you sow? Were you looking at the news? Were you watching the stuff that the news was giving you? Were you looking into a conspiracy video that your friend sent you, or reading the link or watching the link of that video that they did on the hexes and all this? What were you sowing this morning? Just, if you're brave enough to type it in the comments, I just am trying to check the temperature here. And I'm going to have a puff while I'm waiting to see some of the seeds. And just be honest, no judgment, right? Good practice, Rhonda. That's amazing, Andrea. See Tuesday. Very nice. Yes, Stephanie, I love it. Laura, my beautiful sister. I'm sorry, my angel. That's something I'd like to see perish in the new earth, where we're stuck working and giving our life force to work. We should all be able to work for ourselves and enjoy our time, right? And have a community of people. Todd, so you were watching the news, so you were giving your energy to shit. Okay, got it. No judgment. Love is still there. No love lost. But this is just to bring the habit to dissecting what you're doing with your time and energy. Okay? Oh, Temple Girl, I feel that. I'm always picking up messes. But that's part of life. You know, the new earth is going to have work. We're always going to have work. You know, it's ancient civilizations were organized, and they had, the tribe people would get up and they would all say, okay, well, we're going to weave baskets. This group of people is going to get the water, and this group of people is going to hunt, and this group of people is going to strip the hides. There's always some kind of order. But at the end of the day, when your chores were done, there's a time and a season for everything, So in the winter season, when it was time to rest, the days were shorter, they had leisure. They had done their work for the year. They had sown the seeds and they reaped the harvest, right? So many of them had harvested, so they prepared their grains and things for the winter months. They had their jerky from their kills that they had dried out so that they could sustain themselves without, being able to really go out and hunt and things like that. And so then they could sit in their teepees or their homes and be with their families or laugh around a fire, do whatever. See, they were completely living free from any kind of tyrannical overlord saying, get in your car, go to work, punch a clock for 8 hours a day. I'm going to pay you pennies. I'm going to get rich. You're going to suffer. And then the mom isn't going to be able to stay home and raise the children, give them the love and compassion and the care that they need, because that bitch has to go out and get to work too. And so she's going to be working. And then both of the parents are going to come home and secretly they hate each other because they don't have any time to have intimacy or love or care and compassion and bond. They work their whole life away, and by the time they get home to even have their kids in their presence, they're exhausted, and they don't want to cook a balanced, healthy meal, so they just get the cheap poison shit from the drive-thru, and they plop it in front of their kids with the screen, and they say, here you go. Now I want to relax, because I only got 2 hours of relax time before I got to go to bed and do it all over again. Right? Pretty much sounds familiar sometimes, right? And it's not supposed to be like that. But the humans here have been conditioned to thinking, oh, that's just life. And when I die, God's going to see that I did the best I could to just do what I could in this life, and he's going to grant me access through the magical pearly gates, and my name's going to be on the list, and I'm going to be good. No, fuck that. We're here to live now. Live while we're in the body. Enjoy our lives. And they don't want us to do that. So we, as the high-minded people, we're going to be sowing the seeds for the next cycle. The vision of the new earth is what we want. We don't want these corrupt establishments erected again, do we? Do we? Ask yourself. Do you want to go through the chaos that's coming, the darkness, this season, that's changing, and suffer the darkness just so the overlords can continue to dominate and oppress the human spirit again? No, we don't. So why are we continuously focusing our attention on that right now when we should be focusing our attention on calling in the new earth? Right? Do you guys see my perspective on this? Sowing seeds of the spirit rather than the flesh. Because I want to love. I want to see the realm full of love again. And quite frankly, Daniel, hi Daniel, love you, my friend. The Australian brother, he's messaging me and talking about the masculine and the feminine, which is we'll get in depth with on another talk. And he was talking about the rise of the masculine and the feminine, and we are that. Everything is the polarity. It's the principle of gender, right? So you have a masculine and feminine energy inside of you that is waiting to be perfectly balanced so that you can become whole. I have it inside of me. Excuse me, I got a sneeze coming, perhaps. A one and done. What do you know? Usually, I like to get a couple back-to-backs in, but a one and done, I'll take a one and done for today. Just kidding. but I would. Clink. Forgot where I was going because my mind went to the gutter for a second. Sorry, it happens sometimes. It's 12:16 on 12:16. Wow, alignment. I see a 4-digit synchronicity my eye was drawn towards. Okay? And that's a 10 altogether added up. 7 and 3 is 10. Cycle completion. So completing the cycles that we need to complete, not giving our power to things that we don't want to manifest. The truest enemy to them is us activating in our heart. Because once people on an individual soul level, so if you're here, turn this fucking board around. I'm a mess with the upside down board today. May have a message there that everything is upside down and we need to keep turning it around consciously, right? I keep picking it up and it's upside down. Well, I have to notice that it's upside down and I have to make the conscious choice to say, I'm flipping it right side up, right? So perhaps each of us on an individual level, that's what we're being called to do, is take individual accountability. The world is upside down right now. Yes, but you as an individual are giving your energy to what? More of the upside downness? Are you giving more are you giving your beautiful, creative, awakened, conscious energy to their power? We have to keep addressing ourselves every day and do the inventory every single day and say, what am I doing today? Like I just said, what did you guys do this morning? Watching the news? Well, why the fuck are we watching the news? We want that shit done. We want these broadcasters that keep casting out the narrative into the subconscious mind that are keeping everybody sleepy time. We want them freaking annihilated. We don't want to have to get up and check the news in the new earth. We are the freaking news, man. You know what the news in the new earth's going to be like in my mind? I'm like, what a beautiful day it's going to be to wake up in new earth without having to be a slave to some system or some society. It's just going to be like walking out of our dwellings and having our coffee and looking at the birds and listening to things or whatever we want. That's the beauty of it. Whatever we want. Remember the end of Matrix? When Neo and Trinity, there's another thing kind of tying in. The masculine and the feminine finally came together, right? Reconciled. Neo finally woke up. Trinity being the feminine. Neo being the masculine. They finally reconciled and came into union. And then coming in as a whole, they were the creator. Boom, plot twist. They were the creator of the Matrix. And it was this last Matrix which really uncovered that it was truly Trinity, the sacred feminine, that had the power, and everybody thought it was Neo, but it was both of them. Both of them had to come together to change the Matrix. So truly, and I'm going to take it back to Daniel because I'm getting all over the place. This is how my mind goes, guys. I'm sorry. You're seeing my thoughts manifest out into words. So if you can imagine what it's like to live in my fucking head for a day, it's kind of fun, actually. But so talking about the sacred feminine, the divine feminine rising and the divine masculine rising, that is two creative energies. So I hate to say it because I know that this realm has it all fucked up, but men and women have a different energy signature. It has nothing to do with their anatomy. You can choose to operate in this energy or that energy. Like I could sit here and act like I'm a fucking stud, right? I could put my flannel on and I could tape my tits down and I could get a dildo and I could pull my hair back and I could go out and I could totally act in my masculine energy and be like, hey, I'm a dude. Because I know that energy is in me. I have to operate in my masculine energy a lot of the time because I don't have a masculine. So I have to do it all. I have to be mommy and daddy. I have to bring home the bacon and I have to cook it. You know what I mean? You get it? So it's within all of us. But the distorted people, they're not even aware of how it works. These fucking people, they think that, oh, they got their dominant, their masculine energy is dominating them. So now they're a man. No, you're a fucking, you need to balance out your energy, dude. Or their feminine energy is dominating them. So now they're fucking a woman. No, you're out of balance because you're syncing up with the whole system that is out of balance. And this is why Mama's coming in to rectify it, because it has to be restored to balance. So on an individual level, the job that we all face as awakened conscious ones here, the spiritual mission to be Noah, is to sow seeds of the spirit and not of the flesh. Okay? Seeds of the spirit is coming back into oneness, the I amness, which is you are Trinity and you're Neo. And you just have to find that inside of yourself again. Right? And this goes even deeper, which I plan on probably next week. There's a series on Netflix called Russian Doll, which really hints the masculine and the feminine polarity aspect of our game here and our reality and how we switch the timelines and how we have facing karmic cycles, but how we are really needed to complement each other. Right? And in this series, they recognized each other, and it was like this loop, this karmic loop that kept playing out. And it wasn't until they found each other and worked together did they manage to break the cycle. Right? And then they leveled up. And then it was different. But each of them, the polarity, it was required that both of them worked together to get out of it. And that's where we're at now. We have to have the masculine and the feminines work together to get us to this next, to break out of this cycle. We can't do it just one or the other. So this is why each individual needs to stop worrying about what the fuck they're doing and sowing the seed for this to be erected during the next cycle, and sowing seeds for this and start sowing seeds of the spirit, which is them. They are the spirit. You are God in the flesh. If you're sitting here and you're drawing breath, you are a God in the flesh, animate in this reality right now. You are a piece of all creation right now, walking and talking and breathing and doing. And where your mind goes is where your power flows. So focus on, first off, pouring into yourself and loving yourself, and become this. Become the love that we want to see in the realm. And become a man. If you're a man, become the man that you want to see in the future. Do you want to see perverted fucking lustful pedophiles out there having access to your children in the future? Question. How many papas out here hate pedophilia? How many papas out here hate the idea of their children being brought up in a realm like we currently are living in? That's a huge fear. Is that dads don't want to see that future for their kids, right? Well, I hate to say it, but if you're some dad who just sits around and jacks off all the time, wants to fuck a bunch of different women, okay, goes to barely legal porn sites and lusts for these barely developed young women, okay, and wants to see their flesh and all of that, if that's you in your inner temple, then you're sowing seeds of that future for your children, dads. So if you can't wait to get home, okay, so that you can go and jack off to some chick on the internet who's busting it open, that chick could be your daughter someday, because that's the seeds that we're sowing here. And moms, the same way. You know? If you're not going to be a nurturing, kind, loving mother who wants to invest time in cooking a hot cooked meal for your children, you don't want to be bothered with having to be put out by raising children, teaching children, loving the children, you know, then that's what your children are going to grow up being. Because you're sowing seeds for them. So when they don't know how to love and they're detached and they're caught into this evil New World Order web, remember the seeds that you sown. When your sons are out there being lustful creatures and your daughters are out there 16 years old on Snapchat sending their fucking pussy around to get attention that they never got from you, Dad. And your sons are out there not knowing how to treat women because they never had a mom who gave them a hug in their life or cooked them a hot meal. So they're out there attracting toxic feminines and don't know how to accept real love and stay wounded and laugh about it all day long. You know, your mom probably never hugged you if you're laughing about it because there ain't nothing funny about it. We create, we sow the seeds. So if you want to raise somebody who's able to accept love, they've got to have known love. A lot of people in this realm have never known love, period. Because we have been through this cycle, which has been extremely traumatic on us. But this is another thing I'm going to get into, right? With the human, or with the divine masculine feminine thing from Russian Doll, it is they were clearing their trauma from their ancestral trauma. In the second season. The first season was all about reuniting their masculine and feminine. Coming back together and finding that power to change the current cycle and break out of the loop. The second season was all about going deeper and then healing the ancestral trauma because we carry the trauma in our DNA. And there's peer-reviewed science on this. So kiki, ha-ha, laugh at me all day. It just shows me, you know, that you're really not aware of who you are. If you think it's funny. But the trauma, I was carried in my grandmother. Okay? I was inside my grandmother via my mother's egg. Right? So I carried all of her trauma, and this is just not even on a DNA level, just an energy level. I had to clear my grandma, my mother, myself. And then I got my dad's trauma because then his energy source created my energy source. So I had to carry his trauma too, which was in his mama and her grandma and da-da-da-da-da. So I'm breaking all the ancestral curses, which is what Russian Doll season 2 was about, is about understanding. Okay, so you actualize who you are. You break through your own karmic cycles. You have the masculine counterpart, balance duality thing come into play. And then the second season is the same thing. But again, you couldn't heal that ancestral trauma without that pairing of your healed masculine and healed feminine, because that's what happened in the first season, is they had to go through their own individual healing. And then they came together and they were able to break from the cycle. And then in the second one, it was all about going back and then going deeper and breaking the ancestral trauma to lift the curse of the father, the seed of the father. That's the curse. All of the sins of the father, it goes into your DNA and is passed down to your children. That's what the Bible is talking about there. It's not sin, but I guess in some people's program it is. But let me wrap this up because I got to get going with other stuff here this afternoon. So basically, if we all stop giving our life force, because this is what we look like. We look like a bunch of dum-dums, and I'm not calling, you names, but I am kind of, because I'm a dum-dum too, because this is what I've been doing too, but when we know better, we do better. So if we just step into love, the one half of the heart, there's your feminine coming back together with your masculine, and love is the seed we want to plant going forward, right? Whole, healed, aware, conscious creator. That's what you are, right? So stop lying. Okay, we have to stop that part of lying to ourselves in our ego. Our ego's lying to us saying we've got to share the information. We have to tell them what they're doing. We have to help them. No, that's not how it goes. Noah, like I said, he shared information when they were inquiring because they have to seek. And if they don't, then I'm sorry, but that's their choice. It is not our job to lower our consciousness to try and make people see anymore. That season has passed. Now we are in the season of preparing to sow. The trumpets have already been sounded. Divine, who has a connection, has already whispered in the ears. But now we have to take control because we're going into the sowing season. So what are we going to do? Are we, the powerful, conscious creators here, going to sow this into the future by continuing to give it the focus? I hope not. I hope not. I hope that people say, you know what? I'm fucking done with it. I know it's happening. Noah knew that the flood was coming. But what am I going to do to prepare? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to call my power back to me. I'm going to fill myself with love and higher understanding of who I am, my own personal power, my own consciousness, my own traumas that needs to be healed, so that when I'm sowing seeds for the new earth, I'm sowing love and high vibrational behavior and not seeds of the flesh again. So that's where I came to my understanding of this. And so with that, it all tied into me with that song I opened with, right? The Barbara Mason song, Yes, I'm Ready. I woke up with that song. You know, it came to me this morning, that song. And I'm listening. I'm like, you know, obviously about love. She's talking about, are you ready for love? Right? And then I'm getting back from the gym and I had a great fucking workout. I was like feeling like a beast, you know, fucking sweated, poured boob sweat, everything. I was like drenched, my hair, and I was in this like, oh yeah, fucking feeling good. All this blood is pumping. And I get in my car and I'm driving, and on the back of somebody's license plate, it said Olive Juice, OLV something, but it was the words that spelt out olive juice. You know, and y'all knew that thing in school, right? It's like, I used to say, me and my sister, we used to do the elephant shoe. Instead of I love you, we'd go. It says, I love you, right? If you read the lips. The same thing, olive juice was another one. It's like, I love you, if you word it. But I seen that, and I'm like, olive juice. I love you. And then on top of a fucking semi, and people are gonna, but there was a destined for greatness, right? There was the wording, just destined for greatness. And I'm like, claim it. I claim it. I claim it. I love you too, you know, but this is the way the realm works. Where our attention goes is where our energy flows. I'm no longer focusing on coming out here and being a conspiracy gatekeeper. I'm greater than that. That will not be my end all. Despite how many people love and appreciated the videos that I was doing. They served a purpose. There's a time for everything under the sun. But I refuse to stop here and be stagnant and give my power over to sowing seeds for them now that I know different. Because when we know better, we do better. Right? And I'm not going to keep pouring my brain and my heart and my energy into the law of opposites, which is attracting more of what I don't want by giving it that power. I instead am going to continue to try and attract the new earth that I do want by sowing seeds of independent awakening, powerful insight into the spiritual aspect of who you are, helping people clear through their own troubles, helping us come together and learn how to come together as one instead of always falling victim to the division program, right? I am not going to give my energy to people who have had just as much time to awaken as I have. I will not come out here in an attempt to wake them up. If they don't want to wake up, fine. But the Matrix, it didn't matter. At the end of the Matrix, the architect, Neo and Trinity had that last little talk, right? And it didn't matter if they were conscious or not, because Neo and Trinity were going to change it. Rainbows in the fucking sky. They didn't need the people that were plugged into the Matrix's consent to change the reality. They just did it. I don't need to worry about anybody else but me and the vision for the future. It will just change and they'll enjoy it a lot better. They just don't know it yet. Any human that comes through after this cycle is going to enjoy their existence a lot more than these poor babies now. Because we are evolving it for them. Our vibration, our conscious creation of making a change will bring about a better outcome as long as we're doing it with the power of love. And we disappear this completely. So as the earth goes through this cycle, we don't need to focus on them. They need to die and fade away from our minds. And then we can help plant seeds of love and hope and desire and future into whatever comes next after the seeds have already taken hold and we're sowing a different reality. And this may actually work. And I was thinking about this portion. I didn't know about going into it, but it may actually work as if, there's the theory that potentially we could consistently be shifting timelines and the things tweak in the different timelines, but not so significant that we really notice on a daily level, that we're constantly kind of jumping timelines, right? What if we, you and me, were keeping ourselves from shifting into the higher timeline because we are still focused on that instead of the future? And what if we came together in love and our intentions each day was shifting into that love vibration, and eventually we just shifted the whole timeline that we are conscious in enough to where when the darkness comes and stuff, this just is easily gone or So I don't know. I thought about that, but I don't know for certain. I'm still thinking on that. If that's how it goes, I don't know. That's just anyway. Good observation, Temple. And that even goes deeper, my love, because what kind of a God wouldn't want you to have knowledge? Just like the Matrix doesn't want people to wake up, it wants them to stay asleep. Just do as you're told. Be a good little citizen, right? And the Bible says, oh, you can have this creation, but you just can't ever question it. And if you try and eat from this tree, you're in deep trouble, because then, you know what I mean? So it's like, what kind of a God or creator would really want to keep their people like that? The Matrix. The same God and creator that runs this place. And I've had a lot of bizarre thoughts, but like back in the day, the rumor is that the masculine and feminine were together already. And there's so many different theories on the twin flames and stuff but I was down a rabbit hole one time and I was thinking, holy shit, they separated us that long ago. The masculine and feminine was separated way back then because we were too powerful. So they separated us, and that's how it's been powered. That's how this whole reality is kind of came to be, where we're always longing for this other half of ourselves, that we don't ever reconcile it. We were split energetically. But there's the ancient teaching that we were all once one being, and then they split us. And we've spent eternity trying to come back together, and that's kind of like how the Matrix siphons our energy, is because we never feel complete. We never return to who we are. We never find our way home. We're always just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, figuratively. And the true power and how to get out vibrationally through the firmament, through the veil, is raising the vibration high enough by coming back and being whole and having that complete power of the heart again. Anyway, for another time, I could talk about this stuff all the time. I could go all deep into this stuff. I love it, guys. I do. I love to think. I love to question things. I love to be a fucking weirdo. I think it'd be so boring if I just was sitting around like some stupid Stepford wife or some sim person. It's just not my style. But we'll come back and talk it all up on some of this stuff later. Like I said, I'm going to do the Russian dolls live. If I can get it next week, Exactly. That's the key, Tanya. You have to find it within yourself. Because truly, when you come to think about it, the divine counterpart's always in you. And it's a trip. Once you realize that they're always there. The masculine energy's always been in you. And the feminine energy's always been in the masculine. It's just remembering that and understanding it and believing it. Experiencing it is something really weird. When you start to experience it, you're like, what the fuck is happening to me? Why does it feel like I'm split personality? Just finding my way home, that's all. Just finding my way home. Very crazy. Very crazy indeed. But we're all connected. We're all the same. We're all one. We're all the law of one. Everybody knows this. Everybody who's anybody knows. So that's why I want everybody who's anybody to stop giving their power over to their shit, because we were duped, man. They had us. They had us in a snare, man, but we're not going to stay stuck there, are we? We're not going to stay stuck. We're going to get out of that. We're not going to keep feeding into their program because, like I said, we're the more powerful creators here, and they want us to continue to sow the seed for them. And we're gonna hijack it back and be like, aha, you almost had us. It reminds me of that commercial where the guy, he's got like the fishing pole, he's like dangling the dollar. Almost had it. It's like they almost fucking had us, man. But nope, thanks to us bright minds, we switched the game on them again. And then keep switching it up on them with love. With love. Anyway, guys, I'm going to play this song again because I don't want to search around. And this is the theme for the day. It was on my mind this morning. It's going to be on my mind later. So a lot of people will listen to it and think about the 3D aspect of just like the love and relationships. But this is divine. the source of all that you are, which is love, this is that calling you to remember. Are you ready? Are you ready to learn how to be truly activated into your love stock? Are you ready to plant the seed of love? Are you ready to see love grow? Or are we still going to choose to feed our life force energy to water their corrupt, fucking twisted, upside down world? Are you ready to consciously switch the game? It's the question. I love you guys.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready.
My turn.
I don't even know how to love you. Just the way you want me to. But I'm ready.
You ready?
To learn.
Yes.
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes.
To learn. To fall in love. To fall in love. To fall in love with you. Said right now.
Just be brave, my friends. We don't know what we're doing, but we're doing it, right? The champs. We're going to figure it out together. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready to learn to hold your hand, make you understand, to hold your hand.
Yes, my friends, we're ready.
Even know
We don't know how we're going to do it.
kiss
But we're going to do it. We just have to trust.
at a moment like
We just have to trust each other, I suppose. Right? We'll figure it out together. Damn sure ain't gonna stay under their snare of a web, though. They ain't gonna steal my power. Bibbity bobbity, fuck you. They will not. They will not. I'm ready for love, man. All right, my friends, I gotta go, though. I'm running out of time here. I'm looking at the clock. So, subscribers, I'll see you guys Sunday for the coffee chat. Okay? Not going to do a Zoom meeting this week. So, be there Sunday morning with bells on to kick it with you all. Thank you to everybody, all the love and support. Keeping me from having to go freaking sow seeds of the flesh to keep my freaking kids in a warm house, you know. Your guys' support means a lot to me because I know that you guys are sowing seeds for something, you know, and you believe in me, and that's important. So thank you so much. Some of you guys are probably disappointed that I don't have an OnlyFans, but shame on you. Just kidding.
What's going on, everybody?
We need to pull ourselves out of the lust, right?
Today,
All right, my loves. We will see you guys on another one. Talk to you later.